Good morning, everyone. I am going to be making this sausage right here. So I need a few minutes to take care of some things. Be right back. Good morning again, boys and girls. I am extremely tired. I think today is going to be a knockout day. Now, this sausage cost me $2.79. Now, I normally don't mind just making my meal, and I'm going to cut up my sausage. And yeah, at some point, it's going to get in that pan. I like to cut my sausage a little thin because in my mind, oh! Damn, I need to really figure out my methods to madness. In my mind, if I cut my sausage a little thin, and I'm not going to lie, that's not too thin, but if I cut my sausage a little thin, in my mind, I get more to eat because the pot look plentiful. So I try to be a little kind to myself and cut my little pieces of sausage. Now, a couple days ago, they had a sale in a store on some beef. I haven't had beef for about 3 months now, and I am dying for a hamburger. Damn. Yes, I am. I would like some meatloaf. I would like, burger, just some ground beef. But so they had a sale on some beef, and I wasn't willing to pay that price. It was actually $14.99 in my store for 3 pounds of ground beef, and I wasn't paying that. And I said at the time I could pay for it. Absolutely, I had enough on my card to pay for it, but I had gotten to the point where I said it's not a savings to me because I could turn around and take that $15 and buy myself a whole case of sausage, a few sausages, whatever the case may be. I'm terrible in math. So y'all can help me if you want to, but you don't really need to. Anyway, I came home from the store that day, and I was so happy to see my freezer. And I'm still happy to see my freezer because that sausage that I have been living on has been filling my belly, and it has done its job. So now I'm to the point where I'm at half of the sausage, and I believe I have enough in my pot to make me happy. So I'm going to put this back in my freezer. So now I'm going to turn on my pot to number 8. And I know this rag would not stay here if I was not right here using this rag. I don't want anyone to feel unsafe or feel scared for me. I'm doing that. So now this can of potatoes might have cost me 50 cents. So my meal at this point in time is not about this sausage being $2.79 or this can being 50 cents, but someone else's meal might be. So that's why I mentioned it when I mentioned it. But for me, this can of potatoes has a knife in it. That's because I could have cut some potatoes, but I don't feel like cutting any potatoes. So my meal for me is about convenience. So if your meal is convenient, you need to make your meal convenient because after all, your stove matters. Mine does not matter to you because you don't provide time standing at my stove. So hustle and grind. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Mm, mm, mm. Uh, Good grief. Mm, mm, uh. Okay, I am sorry you saw me go through that. And yes, I have dried my eyes and got myself back together. You know your girl is back. Now I have to let you know something. There will be no stove activity for Shay today. Absolutely not. I'm not going to play in the sandbox. But I am very happy that I can still show you that I'm better and I'm well. But I live alone and it's dark and everything. So what I actually did was make me two hot dogs, made me two turkey hot dogs. So I say God provides. I made me a cup of tea. I had one tea bag from my last cup of tea, and then I put another tea bag in this morning. So these two tea bags will make me about 2 cups of tea. And I'm not gonna lie, you girls are grinders, so it might make me three. But I have to provide care for myself, and that's what I have to do. So I had my intended video to explain why sometimes people have to shop for convenience and then other times people have to shop for finances. So everyone has to take their time to figure out what works best for them. My meal ended up now being for convenience, but just in case someone was worried about me and say, you just take a pain pill, I don't take pain medicine, but I do need to open up that window. Your girl is having a hot flash, but if you take notice, you haven't seen me with a rag around my head. You haven't seen all that nasty sweating. So this blasted hot flash that I'm going through, I take it as a blessing. Yes. Open up this damn window. And my window is already open, and it's really cold. It's actually a bunch of snow. We had a blizzard. We had a blizzard last night, everybody. We have snow everywhere, all over the cars out there. But I need a little bit of air. So I don't take pain medicine. I actually take turmeric, and this brand is Nature's Made. But when I'm done with this brand, I won't be using Nature's Made anymore because I will be getting my turmeric in a different form, which maybe I already have it in a different form. I don't want to double dose myself. Okay, I have a bottle of sea moss, black seed oil, ashwagandha, ginger, and I'm gonna take 2 of those. But I don't see turmeric, and the bottle is really dark. I mean, really dark. So I'm gonna take 2 of those with everything in it. Now I do have sea moss, so there's days that no, absolutely not. See, that's what happens. That's why sometimes you have to talk it out. Okay, I can't take this. I take ashwagandha at night because no. So it is 6 a.m. now. So my sea moss is in the morning, and my sea moss. Women need sea moss. Don't be asking me questions. Women need sea moss. That's it. So I'm gonna take my sea moss because it is morning time. Now, I did have a little pain issue, so I will take 2 turmerics in the morning time. I do not want my pass-by air to smell like rotten eggs, but it doesn't smell like rotten eggs. I'm not gonna tell you a lie. You know when they clean out the sewer in the neighborhood and you have that air that you wish you didn't smell? It's about a million times worse than that. So that's why I take my enzyme. Now I could take 2 enzymes and I'd be very good, but I live alone, so I'm gonna take 1 enzyme because it's gonna save me. How many's in the bottle? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. There's 120 in the bottle, and you're supposed to take 2 a day. I don't want to have to. Now I do have maybe 1 more bottle, so I don't want to have to buy another bottle because I'm running out. I want to make sure that bottle lasts me before I have to put in my next order, because my next order is going to be more than 10 bottles, and that has. So I'm taking one enzyme, and then it is 6 a.m. So that's sea moss enzyme. Now I have a overactive bladder, so I have to pee like every 10 minutes. Now I have my tea and I have my cup of water, so I'm gonna take my bladder pill. Normally I wouldn't take it. I would just go back and forth to the bathroom, but I just had a health issue, so I have to love myself, take care of myself. So I will take my bladder medicine, but I try to take this at nighttime. Uh, Black seed oil. Now, in the morning time, I take my black seed oil. Now, if I'm not mistaken, black seed oil also helps with pain. But I'm going to take my black seed oil because I'm on a routine of wellness. So, now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 capsules. Mm-hmm. Five capsules. So, now, ooh, that arm, my arms are freezing. The window's open and ooh, ah, January is such a beautiful time of year. I hate the summer. Love the winter. Anyway, so now I took all of those pills. I do have narcolepsy. So I have to take a peppermint capsule sometime around 10 to help me stay awake a little longer. But take off my socks because I just put on those clean socks, but I have to take them off to get in my bed. So I'm going to take the capsule maybe in a couple hours to try to stay up to watch a little TV. But for right now, this cold air feels so good on my feet, boys and girls. I know. You're saying she is crazy, but I love you too. Anyway, I'm so thankful. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not going back in that kitchen to cook. Now, this is why I don't play in the sandbox and I'm not going to be Bobo the jackass in here. Just imagine if that pot was full. Just imagine if that pot handle was towards me. And just imagine if that pot was absolutely at the highest temperature that I wanted it on. And then my arm hit that pot. That's what comes to my mind when those behaviors happen at my stove. Not the fact that I can't cook. Not the fact that the meal I wanted to eat, I can't eat. If that pot was full, the arm of that handle was towards me, and that stove was at its hottest that I wanted it, because you know your girl like her food hot, then that would have been a crime scene that I did to myself. That's why you may notice that when I'm cooking, I turn my handle back towards that wall. And after witnessing hot soup fall on my daughter when they had gun to me here and gun to me here and had me standing like I threw it on my daughter, something like that could traumatize you for life. And I have literally had an attack at the stove where by the grace of God, I was able to grab the pot. And although the pot was hot, I didn't drop the pot. But if I dropped that pot on my legs, there is no telling what my mental state would be after that, knowing that I turned down a home health aide. And I'm going to tell you why I turned down my home health aide. I turned down my home health aide because in order to have my home health aide that I absolutely need, I have to give up my craft room. When I say my craft room, I can make my greeting cards, I can make my bracelets, but the hustle and grind, you can't do that and tell the government that you need a home health aide. So rather than be, yes, I live on EBT, live in low income housing, all of that, but that's not where I want to be. So I know within myself I want to be somewhere, and I have to accept myself for who I am. I am disabled. I am in need. I need everything that I have, but that does not mean I want to be poor for the rest of my life. In order for me to have some of the things that I qualify for now. I have to have a mind state of being able to accept. I'm not going to accept because I don't believe that that's my written story. Absolutely not. I'm not going to sit down and wake up knowing that my day is a cup of tea in front of the TV for 8 hours and then it's time for me to go to bed. I would. There's no way I could live like that. I don't have it in me. I don't know if I have ADHD. I hear people mention ADHD sometimes, and my daughter has ADHD, and I don't know, remember all those, but if I'm not moving, if I'm not productive, if I'm not, I'm in here cleaning. I will spray the garbage can down. I will spray the wall down. I go outside and clean my front door. And if my mind is not active, then the voices take over. And there are some very nasty voices. They tell you to throw acid on people, push people off the train station, punch people in the face, stab them up. I don't have time for that. So my craft room takes away some of the noise in my head. But by the grace of God, I haven't really been having a fight for that. What I have been fighting in my head, is going away mostly, and I don't know if it's the black seed oil or the sea moss, but it's between the both of them or the combination of both of them together. And I had to do a regimen on my own, which means I had to remove everything to bring it back in slow and steady to get it to the point where it worked for me, to where I was able to see what was able to make me have a day where I could go without crying. Yesterday I didn't cry at all. At all. If I did cry yesterday, it was happy tears, but I don't believe I shed a tear yesterday at all, which would be the first day in a very long time that I had one whole day without crying. And I did have two altercations on the computer where one made me almost lose my my kindness, and it's because someone put in one of the groups something about wherever they live, EBT doesn't let you buy salt. So she made this big post and stuff about that. So at that time when I read it, I said to myself, damn, who doesn't have $2 to buy salt, on EBT? And people tend to think that I am a little bonkers sometimes for thinking the way I think. But I don't care about what the hell they think about me. If I was really trying to be, I would tell them what part of my body they can kiss. But I'm not doing that. It's just I don't feel like playing in the sandbox. The average person, just imagine if I lived in the ghetto. Just imagine if I lived in the hood. Just imagine if I lived in the center of the ghetto and I lived around people that said they couldn't afford this, and this. Just take a look around, just drive around and see what they can afford. So then now you're telling the government I'm supposed to jump on the bandwagon with everyone else and say, oh, we should be able to buy salt. You can take salt off if you want to. I could be mad that you took salt off. Am I going to find a reason to go through all of this for a $2 worth of salt? Hell no, because I have $2 for salt. And if I don't have it right now, I'm going to get it. $2 for salt. I'm going to make a big thing about that. So I made a comment. Whatever the comment was, the person came back. Now, mind you, her Facebook page is monetized. So she came back and she said, yeah, it basically, I'm disabled. I'm disabled. I can't work. But she said it like she was saying FUCKU. So I said to her, I said, you need to take a step back because you're about to get something, and I did say something else. No, I did not use profanity, but I might have said something towards an ass whooping that was very clean for Facebook, because I am also monetized and I don't want a ban or a strike or whatever. But I said to her, I am legally disabled. I receive SSI. I said, I have a business. I said, I am trying to grind my way away from all of this. I said, I also gave her a link to my YouTube. I said, what you're doing right now is making excuses. I said, because I am everything you just described. I said, but I am damn sure able to spend $2 to buy salt. And in my mind, when I think of EBT, I don't think of EBT as EBT. I remember EBT as food stamps. So the only thing that goes in my mind when I think of food stamps is eating. So that removes me from the group of whatever the norm is. So in saying that, I expect you to meet me where I'm meeting you. And that is not thinking of the fact that the government is trying to control what I spend my money on. That's not where I'm trying to go, because I respect the hustle and grind for everyone who feels that way. I feel the same way you do. But I do remember growing up, and they say sometimes you have to pick your battles. Now, maybe I don't do it all the time. Maybe I forget a time or two. Maybe I took a whooping somewhere I didn't have to. If I could have remembered, some of the things I could have remembered. In this moment, I have control, and I do know that I can pick my battle. So my battle now is, you see that $2.79 sausage I showed you? I have a deep freezer with a lot of that sausage. I have a kitchen freezer with a lot of that sausage. Now I have other things, and my freezer is packed. Just now I have about this much room in my freezer, in the big chest freezer, because I have been cooking from home. My refrigerator freezer, I can almost see the back because I have been cooking from home. So now, I kid you not, I am dying for a cheeseburger. When I said hamburger, it's because if I was outside, I would buy the hamburger, and then I would come home and put my cheese on the burger. Yes, I am that. Yeah. And in this moment, I feel like I would like to say, yes, I'm that bitch, because I would buy myself a hamburger, bring my hamburger home, and put my cheese on it. So I don't care about the frugal living. I was born this way. This is not anything that I had to join to learn. Absolutely not. But I kid you not, I'm loving being a part of the community, because that is my community. But I am learning things in the community, and I'm going to tell you something I learned this morning. And I learned something about myself that made me laugh. So I'm going to stay right here for a minute. Now, when I go into the supermarket, I can't buy beef right now. Not because I can't afford the beef. I can afford the beef on my EBT. You have seen what I come in here with, but I'm not going into the store to pay $14.99, which I round to $15 for 3 pounds of ground beef. I don't care what I can fix with that ground beef. I'm not buying it. So there goes my choices, my options. So what I choose to do with my $15 is go to and get the sausage. So I take the box of sausage out. Now I don't know how many sausages come in the box, and I don't know the math on the sausage. But for Coral, I know how she does the nickels and dimes. I'm going to try to figure it out when I do my next haul and show how many come in there. And maybe I can sit down and do the math and figure out what I'm actually saving. But what I do know is that $2.79 sausage, I can chop it in half and then make my meat a little smaller and make my pot a little plentiful, add in my potatoes, take my knife, put it in the can, and chop up my potatoes, make my 1 can of potatoes expand, and make myself eat for the day. Like I said, it was around 6 o'clock in the morning. So I would have eaten that meal in the morning. I would have went back and had some more, and I would have went back and had some more. So that one pot would have been able to feed me. Then say if I got tired of eating that meal, which is every bit of my right, then I would have about 2 or 3 bowls in my refrigerator. I don't really put food in my freezer like I used to because I don't like to taste the consistency when I cook it over. So I try to stay within my refrigerator because it's best for me. So now I go to Aldi and I take the case. Now, in kindness, I want y'all to stay focused. The hustle and grind for the supermarket is sell and replenish. That's it. When you go into the supermarket, if you go into the supermarket with the mentality of saying, I'm going to leave this for someone who's coming behind me, then you're messing up in your community. Because now I shop at Aldi. Now Aldi's hustle and grind is to get it from the back to the floor to be sold so they can replenish. That's what any business is in business to do. Put out, sell, recoup, and replenish. So when I go into Aldi, I'm taking the case. Why? Because that's what the job is. That's what the hustle is. That's what the grind is. So I'm taking a damn case because I have to fund my space. Now, someone went in the store and she took up all the beef and everything. And when I saw what she took, I said, now that's a person I wish I could be a neighbor with. That's a grinder. You know why? Just say I wasn't using EBT, and we want to make sure we clarify a few things. If that was my neighbor, then she and I could have some sausage, and she and I could have some beef. So, community. So, and a lot of y'all know how I get down. But there are people that say I would leave that because that means that what's in the back is going outside in the dumpster. And then you have the other people in the dumpster diving group saying that this is a disgrace, they're throwing this away. But if you have the mentality of walking in a store and saying, I'm going to leave this for the person who's coming behind me, just because I like sausage doesn't mean the person behind me likes sausage. I legit saw people looking at me in the store when they saw me take the case, and they look at me but they're not taking the case. And how I can tell you is there's about 4 more left on the shelf. So I don't want to be of community that feel like they have to leave it for the next person, because then I'm leaving it for the possibility of it going in the dumpster. I don't belong to one community. I belong to the community. I think in the circle. So my therapist, my psychiatrist love me. They say a lot of people should think like you. Now, let me tell you where the little bit of fun came in for me this morning. Before I started cooking, and I must take a little sip of my tea. I'm not feeling too well, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. But my meal for this morning is 2 turkey things, 2 slices of cheese, a cup of tea, and some crackers. But when I was in the thing looking for something to eat, I found some corn chips that I took some of and wrapped down and put in the cabinet. So when I said I wanted some chips, but I have some chips. This is why every now and then I do pick up a bag here and a bag there. But when I do take some, I bandage it down and I put it back in there, out of sight, out of mind. So my space is going to take care of me. Okay, I went on the computer just to check things out, and first thing popped on my mind, on my screen, was a post that someone made about toilet paper. She went to the hotel and she took the toilet paper, and she feels if she's spending $100 a night that she paid for it. So I have to have some tea. Mm. 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 Orange spice. So she said she had to take it because she felt like she paid for it because she spent $100 for the night. Everybody in the post was saying something relevant to the word steal. So I started laughing. Because I have bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, all the goddamn mental health illnesses. But the word steal wasn't a problem for me, not at all. What actually was the problem for me is what most people don't think of. So then I went to my favorite place, ChatGPT, and I basically said what I wrote, what I read, put in my thoughts and everything. And the first thing came back is, you're absolutely right. And most people don't think that way, but it's the truth. So I said, because it would help me not have to type out my post. That's all it is. So I said, can you make me my post based on my thinking? So it did. So all my thoughts, my words, my everything is in my post. But I'm thankful because I did not fully explain where my mind was. I gave them the gist of what was on my mind. Now they have to do the rest. So now I'm going to give it to you the best way I can without giving you the whole cookie. If you are in any way, shape, or form remembering at any point in time hearing someone say that it's not safe to put your toothbrush on the sink because if someone uses the toilet, it splashes on your toothbrush. Okay. So when I see this post and I see the word steal, I'm thinking of the toothbrush and the splashing and the toilet. So now, where my mind is, it's not thinking of theft because, okay, you're saying to this person you're stealing the toilet paper, but you don't realize that if you go to the bathroom, just say you splash and you are the person who says, I don't want my toothbrush on the counter because this, and this. Now, my toothbrush is in the medicine cabinet. I brush, I wash, medicine cabinet, close the door. But in a person's home, where is the actual roll of toilet paper? That's what I left them with. Where is the roll of toilet paper in a person's home? That's exactly where I left them at. Nothing more, nothing less. But I'm going to let you know, if you go to someone's house, just say there's a man, a boy, whatever in there, senior, heights up, anybody. There is nothing guaranteed in your bathroom other than the fact that you have piss on your roll of toilet paper. So while they were thinking of theft, I wasn't thinking about theft because even in my own home, I don't run in there for for toilet paper. Now I live alone, so 9 times out of 10, I'm the only one using my bathroom. Yesterday, someone was in here using my front bathroom, but I know without a shadow of a doubt, he is not touching that toilet paper in my bathroom, not at all. The only thing he would touch is the paper towel. That's it. The toilet paper in your own home is covered with urine. Your toilet paper is right next to your toilet bowl. Women now, there are a lot of women, I'm included, that will not sit on anyone else's toilet bowl. Whether they believe it's clean or not does not matter. Whatever it is that they know is all that matters. So what the hell do you think is on that toilet paper? Urine. So now, I would be able to tell you something that I will do. But I'm not. If you have my phone number, I'll tell you, but I'm not doing that on YouTube. But now, in my car, I have bags of wipes. In my car, let me see if I have one under my bed. I should. Let's see. Okay, I don't have one under my bed, but I do have these socks. I didn't even realize I had them under my bed. But in my car, I have a bag behind my seat, right where I could put my hand in, with these very thick cloths, and I forgot what they're called, but they're for urine. They will never be for anything else because they are massively thick. So just say I was in my car and I had to use the bathroom. I will pull over, reach back there, open my coat, take my coat, put it over me, put what I need to put, and before I get out my wipes. That's right between my drivers and thing. Pull out my wipes, use my thing, take it, wrap it, put it in my garbage can, get my sanitary, take care of my sanitary, and wash my hands. Then I take a spray bottle from the door, spray my hands, and I always wipe my steering wheel. Now that has been ever since I had a vehicle. Ever since I had a vehicle. But the average person would say, oh, I need to use the bathroom. And they run and they jump into public place, and first thing that hits you is someone's pass-by air. That's why you notice I don't play with the pass-by air. And there's a lot of females that you go in the bathroom behind them, and they dress real pretty, got on that smelling of perfume, their hair is $500, beautiful, but they're pass-by air. And you the first one want to go to somebody else's house and use the toilet. Not mine, baby. No, we don't need all that up in here. Woo! Hell no, pass by here. But at Target, I don't know who the hell shops in Target. But I very seldom go in Target. But you can go in Target and smell somebody's pass by air when you walk in. I don't know. But I kid you not, Walmart, if I had to go to the bathroom and sit down, it would damn sure be Walmart. If you do not agree with me saying Walmart, then something's wrong with the Walmart that you go to. I live in Westchester County. I go to Walmart in Connecticut. That should tell you something right there. If I had to sit down on a toilet, it would be Walmart in Norwalk, Connecticut, because I drive an hour to get to Walmart. But I haven't seen what they said about the toilet paper, but it's true. I'm not going in the hotel. I'm not thinking about taking that pissy roll of toilet paper. When I go to someone's house and the toilet roll is right by their toilet bowl, I'm like, okay. Now, I know a lot of people. Okay, say for instance my mother, but my mother's not American. My mother's West Indian, so I need to say that for one reason and one reason only, because there are people who will understand what I mean. My mother cleans her toilet every time she uses her toilet, and I know she's not the only one. Me, sometimes I say to myself, I shouldn't have to clean the toilet. I'm here by myself. But then there's something about me that has been in me ever since I've been on my own, in my own apartment, since I was about however long. And I had my own, I believe, before I was legit 18. So I used to rent rooms and stuff like that. So I've been on my own for a number of years. And there's this thing that they say, if it's mellow, if it's yellow, let it mellow or something. Now, that basically comes from the mentality of a person who pays for each flush. I've always rented, so built in my rent is each flush. So my rent goes up periodically, whatever the case may be, but each flush is built into my rent. So me using my washing machine, me using my toilet would not equate to the same as someone else who actually physically owned a home. I would never want to own a home. I don't care. The equity, the whatever you billing, I don't want it, because once the house is paid off, there's something that you lose that you don't realize, because some people's mentality doesn't go there. I don't want a home, but we'll go there in a minute, because this video has to be 1 hour long. So your girl's gonna chat. Anyway, so I don't know what's wrong with me, other than I am who I am. So when I'm in here alone, and I'm going to give you a little piece of understanding. When I'm in here alone, I need darkness. So If I have to go to the bathroom right now in this room, no light is coming on. Now you can see me because something is glistening in this video, but I'm gonna turn my light back on. Let me find it. Okay, so something is wrong with me, but I don't know what's wrong with me. If I'm in here and the light is off and I'm awake, I'm laying down, I'm resting, whatever the case may be, and I have to go to the bathroom, no light is coming on. Not the light for me to leave this room, not the TV for me to leave this room, and damn sure not that light for me to go to that bathroom. I can't turn the bathroom light on to go to the bathroom. And that's in the daylight. That's when I'm awake. So if I'm sleeping and I'm going to the bathroom, I don't have the capacity, the understanding, the know-how, the anything to turn on that light. Don't you dare turn on a light if you in here and I'm in here and the light is off. Don't you dare, because you about to be in a whole lot of trouble. But feeling a certain type of way, a little hot flash. Damn. So when it comes to the water in the bathroom, I go to the bathroom sometimes when I'm asleep and I don't know that I went to the bathroom. The only reason how I know I went to the bathroom is because I will wake up. Say I'm going to the bathroom to tidy up the bathroom, I will see some of my bathroom cloths that I used building up into my whatever is there for me to use my rags. And then I will notice that my baking soda is moved from where it's supposed to be. In my sleep, I know enough to grab my rag, turn my faucet on, wet my rag, put my baking soda on my rag, and clean my body. That is ingrained in me. There's no movement around me that does not do that. So I know that I could even get up in the night and know that I'm washing my hands because I can feel me with my wet hand in my bed. But to turn the light on, I can't. But there's one thing that I don't understand about me that's been ever since I've been on my own. Now, I don't flush the toilet at night. And it's been ever since I've been on my own. So just say I remember to go clean up the bathroom in the front room. I could probably not even use the front bathroom the whole day. I'm in the bathroom and I'm going on my knees and cleaning. And I say, okay, I know I use the back bathroom because I sleep by the back bathroom. I go to the back bathroom and there'll be urine in my toilet. So I clean the bowl, spray out a little. Sometimes I put Dawn, don't matter, and clean my toilet bowl. So with those things are built in me. Those things are ingrained in me. So the method to the madness from me is different when I hear it from someone else. But that's why I say, I'm speaking from me. I use the word you. I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking from me. When I'm in these groups, I'm not necessarily looking for your method to the madness to make you. I like to learn and I like to laugh. So I may want to joke, I may want to listen, may want to learn, whatever the case may be, and I learn. But when someone says they will not go into a store and buy this for whatever reason, it's unhealthy, whatever the case may be, I respect the hustle and grind. You want to know why? Because the medical system is not really geared to help us. If it was, you would never find what's in CVS 3 times the wholesale rate in CVS. I don't shop CVS. You used to see me run into CVS. That's because I was getting the coupons. That's not savings to me. So I don't even go to CVS. Not saying I never will. You may see me pull up there. I may need something in there. But I don't even go in CVS. I will go to Walgreens. But I don't think I've been to Walgreens in about a year. There's absolutely nothing in Walgreens that I actually need. But just say I ran out of toothpaste. Now, I have not needed toothpaste, I would say, for about 4 years. About 4 years. I could be lying. It could be 5. But I did a lot of research on toothpaste. So I only buy one brand of toothpaste. I will not say that brand of toothpaste in this video, because then I would have to open myself up to answer questions that I'm not sitting here to answer. We all have to find what we like, but I will tell you, I used to buy Sensodyne. I don't buy Sensodyne anymore. Sensodyne actually made my teeth worse than what they were. So Colgate will never be in my shopping cart. Absolutely not. Colgate will never be in my shopping cart. So just in case you were going to ask, never be in my shopping cart. Mm-mm. But I have the over-the-counter card. So there was a time that my over-the-counter card was only able to work in the pharmacy. So I went into the pharmacy one day, and my desired brand of toothpaste was 99 cents. 99 cents, not a dollar. 99 cents. So I was in Walgreens that morning, not for toothpaste, but I was having an emotional moment, and I was going to break something in my home that I didn't want to break. It was one of my electronics. So the only thing I could do at that time was go outside, but it was not the time of year for me to be outside, and I can't be outside in the heat. I have a fainting condition, syncope. So syncope cannot do extreme cold, and syncope cannot do extreme hot. So I needed to be in someone's space to get free air condition. So I just drove to the Bronx that day. I said, I don't even want to be around here. I drove to the Bronx and I went to Walgreens. Why I went to Walgreens, I cannot tell you, but this is why I always say, honey, God provides, because I went in there and I'm walking around and I absolutely didn't go in there for anything. I'm looking at the vitamins, the herbs, and everything, and I need it. I can get all that ashwagandha, not at that price. And then I bucked up on a sale that they were having, and this whole rack, the whole row was 99 cents. So people were in the aisle, and I spotted what everybody was looking at. I didn't want or need a damn thing there, but I said to myself, I'm gonna show myself some kindness. So I walked away from the row that I was in, where I saw the toothpaste. I said, I'm gonna let everybody do all what they gotta do, because I knew what I was doing. So I left the row and I just walked around hair supplies. You know I don't need any, right? Okay, so I walked around the store and I said, okay, I did enough. And I went back to the toothpaste. And when I went to the toothpaste, I took every last one off the shelf. Absolutely. Every last one off the shelf. Put it all in my shopping cart. All of the toilet paper that was marked on sale that was not on sale. I said, wow. I left it all. I took all the toothpaste. Now, when I went on the line, there was, a few people on the line. I didn't join the line. I waited, let some of them go. When there was no one on the line, I joined the line. Why? Because for one, when I got to the register, I was using an over-counter card. So sometimes their machine doesn't work. It doesn't show. They got to do the numbers and everything. So I wanted to bestow kindness and let the other people go. Even people that were not on the line, that had got on the line to leave. So when I got to the register, the lady looked at me and I looked at her. I said, is there a problem? And she said no. And then there was this, and I'm going to say it for a reason. I have no racism in me. I have white family, black family. I have no racism in me. But there was this white man that got on a line behind me, and he was looking, and he looked in my cart. And when he looked in my cart, I saw a smile that came over his face. And I felt so good when I saw that, because he understood the hustle and grind right there. But he left the line and he went a little bit closer to looking into the store. So I know when he saw my cart, he saw the hustle and grind. So he left the line and he went back into the shopping store. So I took every last toothpaste and I put it on the counter. She was counting and counting and counting, and she said, and I said, So I put it all up there because sometimes people feel like they need every last one to count it because you may be stealing. So I said, we're gonna do this real nice and easy for her. I took every last one out of the card. Now you, so she said, how many do you have? I said, well, I would count it, but for some reason you may not trust my count and you may have to count it over. So I'll let you do your job. I understand right here, and I let her do her counting, got my toothpaste. I came home and I had to pack that toothpaste in this closet up on that shelf. Now, I have not had to buy toothpaste in a number of years. And the funny thing is, my daughter was buying black toothpaste. I don't know if you know what black toothpaste is, but that's what my daughter uses. I believe that's what maybe two of my other family members use, black toothpaste. But now I have noticed that there's a person that comes to this house. Mommy, you got a toothbrush? And they run in the bathroom and brush their teeth. Now, I use a mouthwash called Smart Mouth. Smart Mouth is, I've never bought Smart Mouth for less than $15. I can tell you that much. But I could go into, now this is what I do buy in CVS, but I don't need Smart Mouth as often. So I don't go into CVS. Now, I haven't been in CVS. I want to correct myself, but I will go in CVS again because that's where I get my Smart Mouth. I'm trying to find it from the wholesaler. And when I say the wholesaler, I don't want the middleman. I want the man. So I'm still trying to find that from the wholesaler, but I will try to do that probably this afternoon. Anyway, so my daughter comes here, Mommy, you got me mouthwash, but I don't know why you don't get me the. I'm looking at her like, honey, you are over 30. Where are you coming from? So, but I didn't say that. I just looked at her. I said, are we spoiled? And I just left. So there you go, Mary, when you be saying you should, I don't have to worry about that. It doesn't matter what it is. She's spoiled and she's going to come here. So she'll come here. And people have come here. Do you have any too? Absolutely. You know what I had to do? I had to remove, because in my front bathroom, I have a location that I don't actually use. So I don't open it. I don't do any of that. And then I went one day looking for something and I opened it up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I have a whole bunch of toothpaste in there. And then I'm looking at the way it's sitting in the cabinet. Now, I know I did not leave that like that. It's in there like it's this way. I would not have left that in there like that. So I'm like, okay, at some point, someone was having a nice time with my toothpaste, probably taking one, and I don't know who it was, but I'm like, okay, so. And it's I left it there. But the gist of my toothpaste is not in the bathroom. It's not in the bathroom. But I love me, boys and girls. I love me. I tell my mother, I said, my mother laughs sometimes when she looks at me and she doesn't even say anything. And she just put a smile on her face. She just be looking at me. But I know she's proud of me. I know she doesn't have to tell me none of that. None of that, because I know she's proud of me. I don't know how my mind works the way it works, but I absolutely love me, especially when my mental state is of sound mind and body, because then I am at my best. My best. That's why I say, even though I don't want to get married and all that other stuff, I know I will get married, but I will never live with my husband. And that would be for love and respect. I would never live with my husband. And I could give you an example of someone that I went into their home, but said person is so sweet, but when I went up into the home, I'm like, and the first thing I would be in there doing every day, a few times a day, 5-6 times, is cleaning that damn bathroom. But I won't live with anyone. I could see myself married again, but I would never reside with someone, because there is this thing that people say, and someone said it, I think yesterday. Not everyone was taught about hygiene, and someone mentioned that to me, the other day, and I said something back, and it was in kindness. I would never be disrespectful, but I don't think I was raised on cleanliness. We used to sit on paint cans. We had a table. We had paint cans for chairs. But I was raised on cleanliness. But just say I wasn't raised on cleanliness and I had four chairs at my dining table and some gold spoons, no one would have to teach me cleanliness. I have enough awareness to know to wash my hands before I eat. I know enough awareness to know that when I come from outside, I go right in the bathroom, wash my hands. No one has to teach me that. I don't comprehend some of the stuff. Now I do understand that there are some things that I need to be taught, like taxes, stocks. I don't know what stocks that stuff, but I did put $10 in my stock a couple days ago. Don't know none of that math. They send me these reports. I never read any. I tried. It was foreign language to me. I don't even read them. But when I say I look at a little kid, and I'm gonna use my daughter for this. My daughter was about, I would say, 2, and I would put a chair at the kitchen sink, and she would be right here. And the reason I put the chair at the kitchen sink was not to teach my daughter at 2 years old how to wash dishes. I was babysitting my daughter because I was not going to let my daughter at 2 run around the house and then I find a bag of flour, open up and say, how did you do this? No. So when I was washing dishes, I would put a chair at the kitchen sink and let her stand right there and play in the water while I was washing dishes. That was my method to make sure that she was with me and I was able to see her, because I have a fear and I know one thing: anything could happen, and my mind is always on what if. So that's my whole hustle and grind. So she was right there, wash dishes, everything. Mooch pie, I would even give her wash a bowl and a plastic bowl and give her the bowl and let her play. So she's playing, but I'm washing dishes and I know where my baby is. So that's what that was. There was times when she would be in the living room. I wanted her to potty train. I wanted her to learn. So I would have Hooked on Phonics on the TV or Hooked on Math on the TV. I would take her little underwear, diaper, whatever off, and I would put the potty right there. I would put her on the potty. Now, my doctor, I don't know who my medical provider was, absolutely loved me. Now, I had gone to the doctor. I would cry all the time. I'm like, I don't know what to do. But he said, you're doing great. Some of these things that you're doing, he said, you're doing great. But I had a potty in my car. I had a potty in my living room. I had a potty in my bedroom, and I had a potty seat on my toilet and a stool. Why? I was not going to be buying diapers for my daughter at 5. I couldn't do it. I was poor, so I had to do what I had to do. So she would have her potty on watching Hooked on Phonics, Hooked on Math. She loved those things. She loved Dora, and she would use her potty. But when she used her potty, man, she running around the house, and I would say, "Hey, come on, Moosh Pie." I would make her come with me to the bathroom, and I would help her dump the potty. Then we would put the sink up, the little stool to the sink, and we would wash the potty. So she would love up and do all these things, and then I would show her, "Mommy's gonna spray the sink," and we wash the sink. So now, as my daughter started growing up, when the mental health situation came in, the cleanliness was completely gone. So there's a dynamic to understanding, living life and knowing that this world has places and people have to fit in where they fit in. But I go to my daughter's house right now, and I happen to love going in there, but I can't go in there, and I won't be there for a very long time for one reason and one reason only. That amount of pink is absolutely a migraine waiting to happen. But she'll be like, "Mom, you didn't even come over my house. You didn't come." So sorry, baby. I can't do it. I'm talking the fluffy rag, the fluffy rug all over the floor, the bed, the curtains, all over here. Oh, everything is pink. Ooh, I had my fill of pink. Trust me, had my fill of pink. But I kid you not, my daughter just went through something recently, and if you open up my daughter's closet, you will see a stock of this in her closet, and I am so proud of her. Oh my goodness, when I see that girl hustling around now, all I see is a mini me, Kay and Shay rocking. But now she goes into stores and she'll say, "This is," and she look and I could go into Burlington Coat Factory, which is my daughter's hustle and grind, and I could pick up something. She, Mommy, you gotta look at that. That's not, put that back. And I'm like, and I put it back. You know why? I taught her what she knows, but she will never say that she got that hustle and grind from me. But everybody now says to me, you are a good mother. And I thought for years, I cried and I cried and cried. My daughter would go to school. I would put her on the school bus and I would cry from the moment she got on that bus to the moment that I knew the bus was pulling in, which was 2.4 miles from the corner, from where my front door was. I cried all freaking day because I always thought, because I was mentally ill, that I was the worst parent in the world. And my daughter recently, I would say in 2025, absolutely said, how much she loved me, how much I taught her this. She said, Mommy, when I was little, you did this. And oh my goodness, I had to do everything in me to stay quiet because Coral told me, listen. And I had to listen, and I listened. And I said, even if she never say it, she said it. If she doesn't say it again, she could say, "You bet your boy." When she gets in that mental state, and I just sit and I look at her. I give her nothing but silence. I block her on both my phones, and then when she comes to my house, I open the door. I leave her where she's standing. Completely avoid her. Come in my room, go in the living room, turn the TV on, and I act like she is clear as glass. That's what I have to do to remind her, I am not your friend. I am not trash out in that street. I am your mother. So 2 days ago, my Cash App got a little blessing in it. And I was like, this child just drives me crazy. Because she think, my doctor told me, when she does that, because normally I would send it back to her. I don't want nothing from you. My doctor said, no, you have to take it because that's her sorry. That's the only sorry you gonna get. And my doctor's right, because I say, she give me the disrespect, and then she come up in here, and then sometimes she in here speaking to me in Spanish, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at her, and I'm like, thank you, Jesus. You know why? Because I always said a person needs to know more than one language. Now, I try to teach myself Japanese, couldn't learn it. Try to teach myself Chinese, couldn't learn it. Try to teach myself Spanish. I do know some words. I can put on my telenovela and I can follow, but I can't, I can say some words. But my daughter was in the living room one time and a friend of mine was here and the lady said something in French. And then my daughter just started going back and the lady was, and she was, and she loves my daughter, but I was sitting there like, and I'm like, and the lady and my daughter are conversing in French, and I'm like, now the other day my daughter was here and she come in here and she wanted, I guess she was giving me a whooping, and she gave me a whooping in Spanish, but I'm sitting here like, I'm just looking at her, I'm like, I wanted to say so bad, who are you talking to? But I did it. And then I said, I'm not going to say nothing. And then her phone rang, and clearly she was talking to someone, So then another day she came in here, and she was mad, but clearly she was mad before she got here about something that happened outside. So now she coming in here, and it's all about suck your mother and all these other things. So I'm like, okay, now that's my hustling grind. So I'm in the conversation, but I'm just listening because Coral has me listening. So I am so thankful for some of the changes that I have seen in my love, in my sweet little baby girl. When she stand next to me, she's not my little baby girl, but I am so proud of my daughter. And I may take a ride to her if I can find a parking space, because they give out, I think their tickets are like $20 or $25, which means it's much better than right here where I live, which is 75. So I don't want a ticket, no ticket, but I'm just saying if I had to. So maybe I will, go up, and sit in the living room, but not the bedroom. I can't, because I went over the last time I was there. I laid down, watched Netflix, and I was so into this show, but I don't know how you go into people's rooms that's covered in pink. I'm like, whoa. But when my living room was boho, I could understand how people feel. But people come in here, like my friend came in here a few weeks ago, and he said, your home feels like a home. And I am so proud to hear when people say that, because for years my home didn't feel like that. I would have to go to another friend's house just to have that moment for about an hour, and she would look at me and I'd be like, I just need this feeling that's in your house. But my home feels like home, but you have to really understand what that feeling is to know. That's why I say peace and tranquility. But I kid you not, I'm everything is great. Oh, my stuff is working. Everything. My head. Now, I don't know if anyone has watched my channel, has any type of mental health issues, but because I'm a mental health patient, I used to be ashamed to speak on stuff like that, but I can't hide who I am. If anyone's gonna love me, they're gonna love me as I am. I'm not changing for anyone. I just need to know, does anyone understand the feeling of taking mental health medicine and you feel like your head is walking up a staircase? I've explained it to my doctor, and I'm not going to go too far in it because I feel like I'm about to cry, and I don't want to cry. I would take my medicine. I would take my bipolar medicine, depression medicine, don't matter, and I would feel the medicine, and it feels as if my head is walking up a staircase. I would feel the level of medicine just go like this and it would take me to the point where I'm no longer, and I'm like, our medical system has failed us. Absolutely. I just took all my herbals, and your girl is ready to grind. No sleeping is going to happen up in here. Absolutely not. And I may not. I'm going to eat my sausage and my hot dogs because I made them. They're ice cold. My knees are frozen. So I'm going to eat them because I'm going to treat myself well. One thing I am not going to do, and if you saw my video yesterday where I said I wasn't going to eat those waffles because it made me feel a certain type of way, I left those waffles on my counter. I went in my room laughing up and everything. I came back, and that syrup completely demolished the crunch and everything. But guess what? I ate both those damn waffles. I don't want to throw anything in the garbage, and that's one of the reasons why I'm extremely happy with the community that I'm in my no spend, my frugals, because what I would normally, I stop now and say I don't want to do that. So I don't want to do that. And today I can't drive because we had a blizzard last night, a snowstorm, whatever you want to call it. I don't drive in snow and ice. Absolutely. Nothing's going to get me out there driving in ice and snow. I'm one car accident away from not having a car, not being able to fix my car, whatever the case may be. I am grinding to put in my little spaces what I need to put in my little spaces because I need to fix my car. My car needs a shampoo. My car is filthy. You understand me? Now I go in there and get a little rag and a little wipe up. My car needs to go through those people. Need to open up the doors and clean Susie. Susie needs a bath. That's it. So, Beverly! Yes, girl, we grinding. I'm about to get on the computer. Good morning, Beverly. I love my girl. She always makes sure she greet me with love in the morning. But Mm-mm-mm. Oh, it's so hard. Mm. I had something done here. I need some more right here. If it doesn't go down, I have to hold my hands up, put my body on the wall, and do like that to get my food to go down. Anyway, I never liked turkey. Never liked turkey. But because beef got so expensive, I bought turkey sausages. I like my turkey sausages. And I ended up not being able to eat the beef that you saw me trying to cook on my stove. And I like the turkey. So turkey right now is cheaper. When I go, I don't believe I'm going to Aldi because it may be snowing. Not only that, the frost that my hands feel. I put my earmuffs on. I can't really wear a hat in the wintertime. I've tried and I have to take it off. My neck, if I put a hat on, my neck right here be soaking wet in my coat. So I have to put my earmuffs on to keep my hat off, and then I need my gloves, and my hands get cold. So between Aldi's door and me parking way on the other side, that's too far from the store, first of all, but I don't want to park where so many cars are. First of all, my car has my big old face on it. So in order for me to have my car has to be working for me, or I'm actually having no reason to have a car because I barely drive. So I need my car on the very edge where it can be seen so it can do its job if it wants to stay in my life. You understand me? So make it make sense. So getting that food in there, my hands be cold, and then my hands having arthritis that's not good, and then holding the steering wheel to get on the parkway, so I have to do the math. So I am budgeting $20 to give to a tip to the Aldi person who's coming here. Now, you can say whatever you want to say. I'm still gonna love you, but I don't give a damn. Amazon's getting $7. That's it. They pay a lot more money for what I have seen. So the Amazon person, no. Amazon may get $10. I cashed out of a gift card and I sent it straight to Amazon so that that gift card could pay for that delivery. That's how I do my gift cards. So and I just learned of something else, and I can't tell you this site, or I would now. I'm gonna make it real nice and easy for you. Girl, I just remember something I did the other day. Ooh, I wish I could tell y'all, because y'all would be happy. But you would only be able to do it if you lived in a building. You wouldn't be able to do it in a private house because there would be no access to it. But I'm going to give you a little piece of understanding, and don't ask me any questions because I'm not playing in the sandbox and I don't like to play Jimmy Jackass. Okay, there may be a company that asks random people to do things, and in this random envelope is a blessing for doing said favor. This is what they do. This is their hustle and grind. Now, I'm a part of that company, but not in that realm. In the realm that I have to put something on my computer, and as I use my computer, I earn cards. I don't have to do anything. They don't follow me. They don't read my emails. They don't do any of that. The only thing they want is to see what ads come on when I'm on the computer. It helps them understand what coupons and all that other stuff to send to people. But Mary, no, you don't live in a building, so I can't tell you. Okay, I'll tell you this much, and this will help you because you never know where you are. If you go somewhere, just say you walking into a building to see someone, and you see something addressed to current resident, you don't know if that person still lives there. But current means anyone, which means if it's downstairs in the lobby and I see it, I'm obviously thinking that the person's not there. They might have opened their mailbox, seen it wasn't there, and dropped it there. Your girl is taking it. Your girl is taking it. But sometimes I go downstairs hoping to find a few of them. But someone recently put up that she got one and it was $100 bill in it. And I said, I don't know how stupid people can be. You have to read the line the line in this company. You are not even allowed to use their name in any shape or form in a public forum. So this person legit put the envelope and showed the $100 bill. And I said, if that was her actual account and they saw that, she's never getting that $100 again. But they actually send cash. They send cash. Now, I kid you not, they sent me cash a few times, and I did whatever favor they asked of me. Legal, nothing wrong. And I was thankful because every single time they sent that little blessing envelope, but I have never gotten $100 bill. Never. But I kid you not, I went downstairs in my building a couple weeks ago, and I was checking my mail, and I happened to look down, and I said, ooh, and I said, current, and I took it, and before I even got out the elevator, my money was hand on it. But I kid you not, I didn't do the favor. I wasn't of mind. I wasn't of sound mind enough to do the favor because I had to focus. So I took my damn dessert. And the reason why I did is if no one else knows, it would have went to waste. So I'm like, I took the blessing. But sometimes people don't do the favor. But my friend got it one time and she got the $100, but she didn't want to do the favor, but she didn't want to lose the opportunity. So she said, Miss Sharon, can you do something for me? And I'm like, huh? And she said, can you just do this? I'm going to give you the $100. Did I do it? Damn right I did. It took me like 7 days to do the favor, but sometimes you got to get it where it's given to you at. So I will tell you, I would never tell you on social media. I'll never tell you that, but I will tell you this. A company reached out to me to review some perfume, and I was so excited to do it. But for some reason, I got my YouTube and everything went through, but my Facebook did not go through. It was declined through my Facebook. So the person has reached out to me twice already, and I said my Facebook did not go through, but my YouTube was accepted. So if they feel to push me through, then I will be reviewing the perfume on YouTube. Not only that, I will get 20% of all sales that I generate from my video, but the perfume that I get, I wouldn't be keeping because obviously, there's times I do a little spritz here, but I'm not into beauty. So the perfume I would review, and if I liked the perfume, it would turn around and be added to my freebies. So I'm very happy about that. But I tried to do, and I know it's legit because I went through Printify or whatever the case may be. I did all of that, but I was rejected for the Facebook. It wouldn't take my Facebook. I don't have time to play in the sandbox. So I basically said, I don't really have time to go through the rest. I did have another company, a beauty company, reach out to me, and she wanted me to bath soap and all this other stuff. I said yes. And then she wanted me to pay. I said, you want me? I'm not paying a damn thing. I'm building here, baby. You want me? I'm not paying nothing. You don't. Those people that Nike pay and Reebok pay, and they don't have to pay. You can get this poor woman to pay either. I'm trying to eat. But I kid you not, I looked into the company. It was a black-owned company and all that, and I'm black, but I got a lot of little pieces in me, and I'm not jumping on that bandwagon of Black Lives Matter and all that. I don't care what you say. You say whatever the hell you want to say. I turned down a massive opportunity for my greeting cards. Now, they paid me to make the company cards, and this is a national company, honey, and they wanted me to do a commercial. They were going to give me big time money to do a commercial for Black Lives Matter. I had a white millionaire friend, and I went to him and told him, and I said, I don't think I want to do it. And he asked me why. Because I didn't want the Black Lives Matter in the commercial. I wanted the commercial to be based on Shay's Creations. That's it. And when I said it, this woman looked at me, and basically she was absolutely done with me. She, and this meeting went around, 3 times, canceled out and everything, and I know it was because she wasn't available, but she was never supposed to be in the gist of any of it. And this is a national company wanted to use me because the convenience of me being black. Hell no. You use the convenience of me being black with somebody else. I'm building on the standard of me. I don't give a damn. And when I drove past the place, I said, you know what? I was blessed that they wanted my cards and they liked the cards and they bought the cards and everything. But I will always say, old money is not good money. And I don't need to chase. Because when I get my cookie is coming to me for me. And one of the things that I absolutely love is when I was told to come back for that commercial, and I flipped out, my mental health, my bipolar, the whole 9 yards. But I would be good for TV. Can you see my cup? The view. But under no contract would they ever be able to put me on TV and throw false hair on my head. I would never do it. It would be in my contract. You would never be able to. Now, I'm not saying you would never see me wear false hair. I'm not saying that. But just say if I was to make it big, it would have to be written in the contract. You would never be able to put false hair on my head. Absolutely not. You see this bald-headed woman on YouTube? That's who you're going to see up in the view. The view. I got my cop. The view. I'm just joking. I can't do that. But I'm just saying, I'm not willing to change who I am in that dynamic to get that money, because that's not who I am. If someone sits me at the table, I want them to sit me at the table. Me at the table. I am working so hard to build Shay's Creations. That's who I am. That's why when I do my books, Shay's Creations, I don't want to work so hard at something that I absolutely love for somebody to turn around and put me at a table with hair that down the crack of my ass. That's not me. That's not growing out of my scalp. I'm not saying that I may not grow my hair one day and throw a relaxer in my hair, whatever the case may be, but I don't want someone to. Now, there's a lady that, beautiful lady, oh my goodness, and the reason why I remember her is because of my sister. My sister has this white little space right here of hair, just this white piece. And this woman in the industry, she has long, I think, black hair, and she has this one streak right here. And if I'm not mistaken, it's in her contract that she can't color her hair. So I am so proud that she stuck to that and accepted herself, as she is. But just say if I was to be in that type of realm, they would never be able to cover my freckles. Never. It would have to be in writing. You would never be able to cover my freckles. Absolutely not. Now, I can't see this screen, my face, none of that when I take off these reading glasses. And these are reading glasses. And my doctor don't understand how I don't need real glasses, but I need reading glasses. But if you see here, I have a lot of freckles. And they have these makeups, whatever, that people put on their face. Whatever y'all do is y'all business. I love y'all. Hopefully you still love me. But I would never want to cover my freckles. It's just me. And there's times that I don't see them. Like right now, I don't see my freckles, but I know they're there. But when my daughter comes in and I see her freckles, I see beauty. That's why I always say to her sometimes, I say, Moosh Proud, what you're doing, you need to think about that. And sometimes she comes here and all I see is her freckles. And I say, but she doesn't like for me to say she's pretty. She doesn't want to hear me say she's beautiful. She's really tired of hearing it. But sometimes I have to just look at her and smile, especially when I see her freckles, because I keep telling her, you have to Love yourself enough to go outside the way God created you because you're beautiful. That there is no question. Now, I'm not going to sit here and play in the sandbox with you. We do know that there are cases where people cannot feel, a certain way, certain whatever, hanging, sagging, bagging, ragging, drag. It does not matter. I'm not being an asshole. I'm just saying that there are times that people need to know when beauty is there and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You are the beholder. That's it. I am my beauty is in me because I am my beholder. That's it. So, and I know I'm gonna be all over the place, and you're gonna see me like this, just like this. I was driving, coming from a place, and I pulled over at the red light, and this young girls was on the corner, bags and everything, and this one, and it pointed to the car, and she had this big old, and everybody, I said, oh my goodness, she saw me on YouTube. I felt like a star. I felt like a star. Another time I was driving, coming from somewhere, and I pulled up, and this car was here, and then next thing you know, the person looked, and then I happened to look. Now I do try to make sure my light, my mirrors, and I was like that, and I actually felt like a star, and I have no money. No money. Now I do have. Let me show you what I did. Let me show you what I did. I feel so good about myself, boys and girls. I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought this can for someone because let me see what this can says. Champion of dads. Okay, he is the epitome of the greatest dad in the world. So I bought this can for him, but I never see him. Very rarely I see him. So I'm in this frugal group, and people are talking about, oh, they dropping their change in cans and all that other stuff. So sometimes I like to be a follower, not in a negative way, in a positive way. So one day I'm in here and I said, oh, I'm looking at this can just sitting here, taking up space, doing absolutely nothing. So I'm in here cleaning. I found a penny, and cleaning one time I found a nickel. So now I have some coins, just coins building up in my can. But, oh, damn. I just want to make sure I didn't get my cough in my tea because I won't drink the tea. But, you see that? That's what's in there. But let me tell you something. In my purse, now, what I have to do now that I realize, I don't go in here. I don't count what's in here. I won't do that. So, I'm going to put my coins up. I will pick that up when I end the video. There's no reason to waste your time or mine. So I'm going to put this down. But I am proud of myself. But I have to sanitize my hand. Give me 1 minute. And I'm going to pick up my coins while I'm at it. Now I'm going to let you know something else crazy about me and my daughter. And I'm not the only one. I know of people on the computer who do it too. I never joined in to let them know that I'm part of the clan. But I'm going to tell you something. And oh, my hand smells so good. I just washed all my coins, so I have to dry them now. But I was on a computer. I gotta dry my can too. I was on a computer, and this woman had mentioned that she doesn't know why, but she has to wash her money, and I was like, wow, I never. But sometimes I have money on my kitchen counter, like a bill or something. It's because I just washed it. It's because I just washed it. But I have to wash this because the pennies, the nickels, and the dimes go in my coin. I got a plastic bag, a Ziploc bag. My coin purse has no change in it. I have a Ziploc bag with nickels, dimes, and pennies. That's what I'm using in the store. So, say if I go to the register, let's say I go to Dollar Tree, I will take out that bag of coins and put it on the counter and let the lady take out that bag and cash out. And then I will take a few pennies and leave it at the register, for them, for the shoplifters that go in the store and steal. So that's me. Mind your business. I'm who I am. But now there's a machine that you throw money in. I put quarters in there. I don't want my nickels. I don't want my dimes. I don't want pennies in that machine. I want only my quarters, because that machine takes money if you do not get, I believe, an Amazon card. So I wash my money. But the reason why I said I'm going to invite you to something that's crazy, my daughter from a baby would take bills, dollar bills, and wash them and then put them down. And I said, oh my goodness. When I saw her do it for the first time, I said, and I didn't teach her that. I saw her do that on her own. But I will take bills, I will take bills, put them in the sink, wash them. You know why? Because bills go from place to place to place to place to place, and they're one of the filthiest things you could put your hands on. But I actually see people say, they go places they eat and everything like that, but you could take that money out of your purse, pay for your food, and I absolutely see people take that tray straight to the table and they eat, and I'm like, wow. So one day I was at the register getting something to eat at a takeout place, and when I got my tray, I asked the person, could they open up the bathroom so I could wash my hands? And the man behind me was looking at me like I was a damn disease. And I looked at him, I said, Miss, you mind holding my tray while I go wash my hands? And she said, yes. So I had to go wash my hands, but remember, I had to take their community key to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom and I washed my hands, but while I was in there, I did a scrub to the community key as well. That's just kindness. And I have mental health illness, so you may say, damn, she's crazy. Nobody's doing all that. That's why I tell you, I love my community. So it has nothing to do with me being crazy. I don't believe I'm as crazy as people think I am. I do have a little unbalance at times. And that unbalance gets real unbalanced. But I think that's the Libra in me. I don't think that's bipolar. I think that's the Libra, because every Libra I know has it. I kid you not. And see how I'm laughing? I love myself. But let me tell you something. Somebody posted yesterday that people need to whatever, because she had visions of this, and this. And I tell people all the time when they don't believe me about these visions that I be having. But I was so happy when I read that, because a few people had chimed in about the visions they have, whatever. But recently, someone did something very painful to me, and I legit saw them in their shower crying. I legit saw them on my couch crying, because they're sorry for what they did to me. And yesterday, when I was looking through my phone, I saw a message that when I said I got the sorry, and I was showing Mary yesterday, I didn't get sorry. I got truly sorry. So then it made me feel like, wow, how did I miss the word truly? But, the window's open, right? Okay. Whew, Lord have mercy. So, when I say I'm a little bonkers, but I like the bonkers a little bit, because it makes me stay in the realm of being who I am, and I'm not like everyone else. But I am the epitome sometimes of these damn Libras. Kid you not. That's what I said. But when I have to say Sweet Man, and when I show you my debit card, you'll understand why, because that's his nickname. And on my debit card, it is Sweet Man, because I got that card when me and him was together. So when he comes in today, I have to ask him his sign, because we are compatible. But he is a grinder, and I wish he could turn off the grind when he walks in this door, but he can't. When he walks around here, and I'm like, but I need to turn down the grinder because that smell, that pass by air, boys and girls, I'm just captivated with the pass by air. Some people can put on whatever they put on, and it is just compatible with their whatever's in here. But and I just walk, I'm like, rap, and you know when someone give you a hug and they is he holds on and he just but and I love the pass by air. But honey, I kid you not, this hot flash is killing me. Ooh. But I'm gonna end my video now. I think I did my metrics already for today, and I'm gonna go into the bathroom, put some water on me, and I'm feeling a certain type of way. Have a wonderful day. I did 1 hour and 34 minutes. No, 1 hour and 35 minutes. Please let me know how far you watched this video. Oh, I'm working on a freebie, but I have to get shipping. I gotta get shipping. I can't do myself that dirty, but I have to. I'm working on, and it's for Mother's Day. Bye bye.